And we are live.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to the third episode of the Xbox Live Party USA podcast. I'm your host, K.Y.Bob. I'm joined with my great panel, Slayer exclusive Power Man 4K and Ultimus Gaming. And boy, do we have some news this week. We had Halo drop. We had an awesome, well, I thought it was awesome, 20th anniversary celebration. A buttload of back compact games. And we had, the Stiffmeister would be really happy, if you've ever seen American Pie, because the Stiffmeister knows about getting stiffed, and the biggest rated game of the year has gotten stiffed. So we have a lot of topics to get into. But before I just go off the rails, Slayer exclusive. How are you, brother? And what have you been playing?
I'm doing all right. How are you? I've been it's a little busy for me this week. I've been playing quite a bit. I played a little bit of Halo, as you can see right now. It's up on the screen. That's from some of my matches last night. Did some ranked and been enjoying that game. And played a bit of Gang Beast with some of my friends, same friends that I'm playing this with, and actually played through all of World War Z. That was pretty cool with some of my buddies online as well. And other than that, just played some ESO, Other Scrolls Online, and a little bit of GTA 3 as well. So pretty good week.
Yeah, I heard that. I've played Halo, Far Cry 6. I've tried the GTAs. It's been a good week for gaming.
Yeah, definitely.
Power Man 4. I'm sorry. Power Man 4K. What have you been playing?
Oh man, I tell you, I have been absolutely crushing Halo. I love when a Halo drops because I feel like it brings a lot of us together. Like me and my brother have been jumping online like late night and just killing it with a couple of my buddies who I haven't played with in a good long while. And so man, I just been grinding it, really trying to learn how the game plays and how it's doing. Other than that. I jumped into a couple of the FPS boosted titles. I'm going back through the original Gears of War series and trying that out at like 60 frames, and just checking out a couple of those. And other than that, man, just kind of just killing Halo and Forza.
Oh, and it is so smooth. It's got to be the smoothest Halo I think I've ever played. I mean, that year, man, you just cannot put into words what that year has given them as far as polish. It is awesome.
Yeah, it's
I
honestly
can't wait to get into it.
it's the best. It's the best thing they could have asked for. I honestly, I thank Craig. Everybody thank Craig because Craig gave us an extra year, and the game we're getting now was worth the wait.
Yes, definitely is. Definitely. Ultimus Gaming. What you been playing, brother?
Lots of Halo Infinite, man. I was hyped for that game, so I got straight into it the day it launched. And I was pretty convinced of myself that Halo wasn't going to launch that day, and that bit me in the ass. Here I am enjoying the game. I love the multiplayer. I'm so hyped for the campaign, but I can't stop playing that multiplayer. Match after match, I just fall in love over and over again. So it's just so fun.
All right. And like you may have heard me say before, old Bobby here has been, let's just say, I was psyched when the 20th anniversary show said that you could play Halo Infinite multiplayer right now. And I immediately turned on my Series X and went to Halo, and it said, "Oh, I'm sorry, you need a 26 gig update." I'm like, I want to play now. Let me in, please. Let me in. But
Yeah.
I got in, and it was great. And I think one thing that's really cool is, yes, you do buy the seasons, but the goals to reach in the seasons don't have to be done in a set amount of time. You can get around to doing those whenever you want. I mean, except for the daily challenges. But I mean, I'm used to getting the season and then having to grind in the time frame allotted to get what I want out of the season. But they're taking it in a different direction. I kind of like it.
Yeah, they've also stated that the battle passes aren't going to be locked to time frames. So, for instance, like if you're a Halo player and you missed this season, you can choose to go back and play and have your XP reward this season's battle pass, or choose another one. You know what I mean? So, like 4 or 5 battle passes down the road, if you want to go back and get rewards from the previous one, you can, which I think is really awesome. You know what I mean? Like not losing access to something, kind of picking and choosing where you want your XP to go.
I really wish Gears of War 5 had done that with their multiplayer, because now,
yeah,
when I see an update and it's saying like season 8, and I'm like, oh man, what happened to what did I miss out on? Damn.
Yeah, a lot. You know.
Yeah, I did pull myself away from Infinite enough to go back and do some achievement hunting on Far Cry 6. It's still such a good game. And I did try out some of the GTA trilogy, which I got. And wow, the direction they've gone with the lighting, it's you either love it or you hate it. I think the shadows are way too dark. When you're in a shadow behind a building or something, and any of the GTA remasters, I mean, they're all the same. They all using the same engine, the same lighting effects. But when you're in the shadow of a building, it just feels like the whole world is at that light level, and it's it takes you back a little bit, and you're like, this doesn't feel right. So I had to turn my contrast up a third, and after I did that, it got a little better. But I don't know. It could be my crappy LCD TV, you know. You never know. But anybody else out there that's having issues with it, let us know in the comments.
I think for me, I don't know about you, but like for me, I played 3 so far, a little bit of it, like maybe 3 hours. I got to the the second island, and for me, the biggest thing has been the rain. When it rains and it's especially nighttime and it's raining, I can't even see in front of me. I literally have to use the map to know exactly where I'm driving. Like, it's crazy. Like, if there's a road and like an intersection and I have to make a turn, I literally have to look at the map to actually like know when I have to make a turn, because it's crazy. It's almost impossible to see.
Thank you so much for bringing that up, Slayer, because I had completely forgotten about it. That was the first thing I noticed, because at the very beginning of the game, you know how you driving from the bridge to the hideout, it's raining, and I was like, oh, it wasn't my game, it was raining, and I was like, God, this is horrible. I can't see where the hell I'm going. Does this have a first person selection, or am I stuck in the air over this car where I can't see? It was crazy.
I think it does have a first person option, but I haven't tried it. I don't think I want to, because I actually didn't even play GTA 5 with it, because it's just like that. I'm not, like, I want to stay true to the experience. Like, for me, GTA is third person. I don't know if I'd want to play it in first person, so I think I'm gonna stick with third person.
Yeah, but
agreed.
That's what old Bobby's been playing. So a good week of games, and let's get into our first topic. I don't know if any of y'all heard, but Xbox kind of had a birthday. That's right.
Really?
It was a celebration. Man, I don't remember Sony ever having a celebration for a birthday. What's wrong with them?
They were celebrating the blow feature in the controller.
Shout out to that guy.
For real. I mean, that's just... He's even got his own meme now. He's got a number meme.
All respect to him, but wow. That... Ugh.
Oh, goodness. So, yeah. I'm just going to give my thoughts on the celebration first. I thought it was great. I enjoyed every bit of it. I thought the all the nostalgia that they kept dropping in between each person talking of releases and things going on behind the scenes. And that we found out we got a 6-part documentary coming in December, which I can't wait for that. That's going to be amazing. And then they went and they dropped Halo Infinite multiplayer, which is free. They dropped it that day. They were like, "Oh yeah, by the way, while you're watching this, when you get done, go play Halo." And then they dropped a massive buttload of back compat games, 76 total. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, "Well, this was the final hurrah for back compat," but I've heard two different stories. I've heard from a very reliable source that they're just going to do this once every year. And if we get even 20 more titles added to back compat once a year on top of what's already there, I'd be happy. I'm happy because I get to play all my Max Payne games on my new hardware with FPS boost, with auto HDR. I get to play the whole Fear series with auto HDR. Can't say FPS boost for the entire series because for some reason FPS boost is only working on Fear 1 and Fear 3, but not Fear 2 and Fear Files, which, if any of you don't know, Fear Files was the standalone disc that had the 2 expansions on it. So why FPS boost just doesn't work across the whole series, I have no idea. I mean, unless number 2 had a different co-developer or something, and they ran into some rights management that couldn't be sorted out. I don't know, but I loved it. I thought it was great. We got Halo. We got more back compat. I got Fear finally. I can't put the 360 away yet because I still got it sitting out for Battle for Middle Earth 2. And I bet that thing's in licensing hell. You can't even get it on the PC anymore. It's crazy. You can't even get it digitally. It's nuts.
Wow.
But that's what I thought of it. Power Man 4K. What'd you think of the celebration, brother?
Oh man, it's funny how nostalgia hits you, right? Like I'm sitting there and I'm watching this stuff, and a lot of the stuff I watched live. You know what I mean? Like I watched this stuff kind of happen, and a lot of the footage that they used is, a lot of the stuff that I was paying attention to in like the early 2000s to mid 2000s, whenever I was really first kind of starting my journey on the Xbox platform. And it was just great, man. I think that they really nailed it. They really nailed the essence of Xbox and like where they came from, and then also really kind of reiterating about where they're going. So, and showing that like, yeah, this is 20 years, but we're not done. We're going to keep moving forward. I would probably say, I thought the stuff with The Rock was hilarious. How it comes back around. You know what I mean? The Rock was there, and he was back again for another one. But yeah,
although
I think that
he was promoting a movie, but
yeah, I know. But like, dude, when he was making fun of his own fanny pack and his own outfit, like that was just hilarious, man. Like, and the only thing that made me mad was when they edited out the part where he asked Bill Gates the question. You know what I mean? He's like, it doesn't matter what you say. That was great. But I don't know. It's just really nostalgic from somebody who was there pretty much since day one on the Xbox platform. So it was great for us, and like being able to drop Halo, it's just another hit of nostalgia, man. Like it just brings back such good memories of just killing LAN parties. And this new Halo is just it's firing on all cylinders, man. And it's really showing that Xbox is they're dedicated to what they're trying to do. And this anniversary and this year proves that.
what about that back compat lineup? Anything tickle your fancy?
Oh man, like just to name a few. Well, you nailed it with the Fear franchise. Me and my buddy, we played through that entire franchise, and we would take turns on who would get who would get to kill the people, and then who would get to deal with like when the HUD goes, it starts crackling, and then that's when the spookies are on the way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
being able to play that with FPS boost, I'm a huge Dead Space fan. So being able to have access to Dead Space and be able to play that again is awesome. And also too, like having the other, I love Gears of War. So having Gears 2, Gears 3, so on and so forth, and the Ultimate Edition of Gears of War, FPS boosted, it's a totally different game. It looks completely different. It looks so good. It looks almost like a current generation game.
Almost. It was ahead of its time 10 years ago.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it just looks so. I mean, when you're looking at it now, you're not having to look at it from the lens of an Xbox 360. You know what I mean? So, a lot of details, a lot of lighting, a lot of atmosphere that I feel like might have gotten lost, and like you said, so ahead of its time. I mean, I remember seeing the very first trailer that they dropped for Gears of War, and I was like, oh my god, you know what I mean? I couldn't believe what I was seeing on the screen, and so yeah, going back and playing those at like a buttery smooth 60 frames is just awesome. So
I agree with you. At the time when Gears of War dropped, I challenged the community to mention another game that carried the mature atmosphere that Gears carried at the time. It was awesome.
and
It was really good.
and the stories that they were telling, and they weren't afraid to go down a path, and sacrifices had to be made. You know what I mean? If you know anything about the story, like, things go down. You know what I mean? So, talking about a mature narrative, like, I feel like Gears of War just embodied that for the early 360 generation. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm loving it.
Yep. Okay. Ultimus Gaming, I know you got a bunch of passion balled up. I know you got a bunch of feelings ready to flow from that celebration that we took a look at. So come on, let the community have it. Let it out.
As someone who isn't an OG as you guys, it was still an amazing show to talk about. Now, I don't have as much nostalgia as you do. You guys have been there since day one. I have not. I have been here since the 360 generation. I'm kind of glad I joined on the best generation, but but at the same time, I do know The Rock and everything else, and I love all of that. But what I really love seeing was Phil Spencer talk about the developers and everything, all the creativity the developers have done, for not only Xbox games, but just across Xbox and PC and everything, just talking about their creativity and their dedication to create great games for us. I just loved hearing that, but I love when Phil Spencer can speak. But not only that I loved hearing, I loved how they surprised me, because I didn't think it was going to happen that they were going to launch Halo that day. I really didn't. I was convincing myself that it wasn't, so I wouldn't be disappointed, because I love Halo so much. I have a deep love for Halo, and I just didn't want to be disappointed. But then they surprised me. They came at me with the multiplayer right then and there. Of course, I was at work. Of course, I couldn't play it anyway, but it was still great to know that I could just go home, make sure the update's downloaded, and get straight into it. That was what really made the day great for me. And then they announced all the FPS boosts and all and more backwards compatibility. That was a great day, because I love the Fallout series. If you haven't already known, I am also a huge fan of the Fallout series, from Fallout 3 to Fallout New Vegas, Fallout New Vegas being my favorite, and now I can play them at 60 FPS. I never thought it could happen, and now I can, and it's just an amazing show. They're just making the experience better for gamers, and that's what I love. Old games are going to be played even better on the next generation hardware, and that is it's just amazing what Xbox is doing. And a great celebration, and I'm glad to be a part of it, and I was glad to watch it, and I'm just ready to jump into and to see what they have ready for the future.
I hear that. And the future is bright, my friends. Slayer exclusive. Come on, man. What'd you think?
I enjoyed it. I actually thought it was going to be like a little longer. It was kind of short. I was surprised by that, and I was a little bit sad that they didn't like post any updates on Fable, because that's honestly my game right now that I'm waiting for. Because that's my childhood. I love Halo 2, but like I'm not that much of an FPS gamer, to be honest with you. Like I tend to enjoy RPGs more. But yeah, no, I think it was good. Like I was surprised by Halo dropping. Honestly, I didn't really even know. I wasn't really even following the rumors. So other than like what we were talking about amongst the Discord group. But yeah, it was kind of a nice surprise. I'm enjoying this so far. Like I actually, played some ranked games and I reached Plat 2, so I was pretty proud of that. Very surprised by that. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna be like higher than like silver or something like that. But pretty good. That came out to be pretty good. But yeah, it was a good show. I mean, it was like a lot of nostalgia. They basically did exactly what they said. No new games. They announced backwards compat, which was freaking awesome. Like there's a few of my favorite games in there, like Risen. Not many people probably know that franchise. It is an RPG, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that even those that know it probably don't like it because it is one of those obscure like low budget games, but I'm one of the few people that actually enjoy those games because they it kind of like it has a lot of heart. Those games may not be like have all the the good graphics and all the like fancy gameplay mechanics or whatever, but there's heart in that game, and you could tell like the story's pretty good. It's pretty solid, and it is a pretty good RPG in my opinion, and I'm excited to play that because that joined the backwards compatibility program. And yeah, like I said, overall good show. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I wish it was a little bit longer. I was surprised. I was actually hoping that because I think it ended up being like only like 30 minutes, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And I was hoping for at least like an hour, to be honest with you. But yeah, pretty good. Like they hit a lot of good notes. They like a lot of nostalgia notes. So it was pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was very nostalgic. And I mean, I don't know how long the 6-part documentary is going. I don't know how long each episode is going to be, but I don't know. I guess I would have liked more of an insight on that. I mean, I've watched so many documentaries on Xbox over the years. I could probably write my own documentary on it just from what I've seen. So I know they're gonna rehash a lot, and that's cool for the people who didn't live it, um, front and center. But I do. They were very short and sweet. They got to the point, and they was like, we're very proud of ourselves. We've gotten this far by you, the fans. I mean, even Big Daddy Microsoft was like, you want to do what? You want to make a game console? Seriously? And here we are 20 years later, and it's bright. But enough on the celebration. So the highest rated game of 2021, who Playground Games just announced a little while ago, they've had 10 million players since early access a week ago from today, actually. They've had 10 million players. No, wasn't a week. It was 2 weeks ago from today. 2 weeks ago from today, they've had 10 million players. It's had the highest score on Metacritic that I've seen. And I'm typically look at that stuff because we know that's the goalpost that the fanboys like to move. But the highest rated game with 10 million players in 2 weeks doesn't make the Game of the Year nomination, but it makes other categories for sound and sports. I don't really consider Forza Horizon 5 a sports game. And the sound is great, but the sound is literally just the icing on the cake. It is a masterpiece. And I don't know. Jeff Keighley has been doing this Game Awards show for years. I mean, I can't even remember how long it's been on. It's been on for years, and we're still not sure when the cutoff date is. He got on Twitter and he said that the actual cutoff date is the 19th of November. But then he says that on Twitter that the cutoff date for ballots is the 19th. But then he tells the jury, the voters in the industry, that they have to have their ballots in by the 4th. That's 15 days. That's 2 weeks. So what story is it, Jeff? Is it the 19th or is it the 4th? And then we come to find out that there is a little note inside the packet that is sent to these voters, these journalists, that says they can alter their ballot up to the 11th. So we've got the 19th is what's told to the public. The 4th is what's told to the voters. And then a not highlighted, not made very clear to the voters in the pamphlet is that you can alter your ballot up to the 11th. So I can't help but think that if this was a year where Microsoft didn't actually have a contender, a true contender for Game of the Year, I don't think there would have been any confusion at all. I'm starting to feel like I'm stuck in a fun house with smoke and mirrors. I don't know what to believe. I can't believe him because he told Twitter and the voters two different things. So, on a different note, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Blue. John Blue, are you there?
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry I'm late, guys.
Oh, that's good, brother. But I was just going off on a rant, and to be honest with you, I worked myself up out of breath. So we're going to take a break, and during that break, we're going to find out what you've been playing, brother.
I've just been playing Halo, Forza Horizon 5, play a little Max Payne 3,
Nice.
playing a lot of stuff.
You've been hitting it up from all fronts. Some
Yeah,
Forza, some
pretty much,
Halo.
yeah.
You've even tested out some of the new back compact games. It's nice.
Yeah, it's good. It's good times.
Oh, well, I've given my spew. Ultimus Gaming. What do you think about this whole Game Awards and it's not Game of the Year material, but yet it's these other, which are really side category material, and all the differing dates that are being put out there? Come on, man. We just all want the truth, right?
Of course. You know, when I was reading about this, we had gotten a few arguments in chat over the dates, and that just shows how the information isn't being presented correctly, and how GF Keighley is basically leading us is just leading us towards the wrong answer. And I've tried to not criticize Geoff because I have some respect for him continuing the Game Awards, but what I'm hearing is absolute bullshit. And I hate to even say that like that, but really, this is bullshit. He's leading us on, telling us this information, telling everybody else different information. It just shows this. He's not being fair. And I get it, life's not fair, but this is ridiculous. This is not just a side award thing by three guys in a basement. This is the game award. It should be done fair and right. It gives us different dates, and he does this and he does that. And I don't like that, because now look at this. Forza Horizon 5, the top acclaimed game of the year, isn't on the list, but a game like Resident Evil. Now, I love Resident Evil to death, but Resident Evil Village is not game of the year material, in my opinion. An 84 meta, I believe that's what I saw last, is part of one of the games for game of the year, but a 92 critically universally acclaimed game is not. That is ridiculous. And I'm just tired of it. last year at the Game Awards, a game I did not think deserved it won. I did not think that The Last of Us 2 deserved to win. And the fans had a lot of criticisms of it, and yet here we go, the critics chose it to win. When I thought a game that deserved it was Ghost of Tsushima. I thought Ghost of Tsushima was a lot better of a game than Last of Us 2. But look at that, the critics decide. And here we are again in the situation where the critics make these decisions. And I can't even blame them in this situation because it's not their fault. Geoff is the one that runs the show and made this. But you know, it just I hate how he runs things. I really do. I hate it. Because why you know what? I love critics. I love them giving out their reviews, but they should not be the ones deciding the game award. This is the game award that we decided by the gamers. What? Oh, the Gamers Voice Award. Yeah, like that's great. No, we should be the ones deciding who wins the game award, and that should be it. And that should be it. We're the ones that play these games. We are the gamers. Yet we have the top 5% critics that choose this, and almost the community, the majority almost never agrees. Now we have a great game that is not going to be able to be on the nominations list, and and even then, our vote doesn't matter.
Yes.
Right? Our vote matters for 30% of the overall decision. The critics decide the game award.
I actually thought that was 90%. I thought it was 90% was the
It's
developers.
10% fans, 9% critics.
Yep.
I'm hearing
90%
different things. My
journalists
apologies,
and
then.
developers.
Yeah.
Wait, you know what? That's another thing. People need to tell me the right damn information. But anyway, you know what? God, now I've just ranted on, and
oh, that's all right. Take a breath.
This is what happens. This is what happened. People tell me things on Twitter, and I should never listen.
All right, Power Man. What's your take on it? I know you got a saucy one.
All right, so I've been accused of kind of diving into the hornet's nest with these kind of issues and really getting into the nasty side of Twitter and the comment sections and everything. And just one thing that I truly agree is I do think that Jeff needs to be under a little bit of pressure right now, because I think that there's a flawed concept, and it really shows kind of like where the holes are in this whole quote unquote game of the year, and what we're allowing to be categorized, and what we're allowing, these quote unquote critics to tell us as gamers what a game of the year should be, right? They're picking and choosing, these games they feel should be in the nominees. And then we're left to vote with only 10% of power, mind you, on these games. Now, we all know that Forza Horizon 5 was the highest rated game of the year, right? We all know that Forza Horizon 5, in the best sense of the word, isn't what I would categorize as a sports game, right? So, if anything, I've been kind of coining it like the car PG, right? A car RPG almost. You know what I mean? It tells a story. It's doing what it needs to do, and it has a great little story behind it. The races are great. The game is super solid. It's highly rated. Why isn't it even in the discussion? And then people may say, oh, well, there's a couple of the games from Xbox. It's not even about that. It's about, Playground Games getting their due because they do such good work, and they put out a game of the year contender, and it's not even being talked about. And I don't think it's fair. You know what I mean? And it's great to see that the community is really stepping out and they're speaking their mind on the situation. A lot of comments, a lot of people asking Jeff and asking the people that are nominating these games as to why that Forza Horizon 5 was not being considered.
Yeah. And in the age of games that we live in, with the likes of Cyberpunk, with the likes of Outriders, with the likes of Avengers, for a game like on the scale of Forza Horizon 5 to release early, I mean, they had 2 million people that played it early that weekend, and other than some convoy issues that were very rare, I think in 4 days I got kicked from a convoy twice. But that was it. There was no game-breaking bugs, and servers getting hit with early access. That's to be expected, and it wasn't even that bad. For a game to release and get as highly ranked as that game and come out as close to flawless as we've seen here in the wilds of game releases here lately, you're right. My hat's off to Playground Games. They've got a classic.
I mean, so many other games have launched with way less of a concurrent player base, and were completely busted by the servers and by people's inability to log on. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at major franchises like, for instance, Battlefield, Call of Duty, that have these rough, buggy, busted launches and need weeks, if not months, of patches and breakthroughs in order to get the game back up to a playable state. It's honestly shocking how everybody's just kind of overlooking the fact of just how easy and smooth and cohesive this game came out with no hitches. It has full access to roughly 20 million Game Pass subscribers, and through all of that, it's still running smooth, having no problems. Like I said, some people have had some convoy issues. I personally haven't had any. I've only been in a couple of convoys, but they've been very easy to get into, and we run races and there's no problems. You know what I mean? So there's a whole page of reasons why it should be at least considered for Game of the Year. You know what I mean? If there was another game that had come out and it was a different genre from a different company and it had a 92 meta, there would be absolutely no question. Spider-Man, 87 meta, multiple nominations for Game of the Year and multiple other nominations. Okay, plenty of games that have made that have done less and have launched worse have made the Game of the Year contention. And all that we're asking as Xbox fans is give the game that these guys work so hard for its due.
Well, you're forgetting though, man. Come on. Spider-Man actually has a movie franchise too, and I think that's what they're going for. They want to be the movie awards of gaming, so you've got to have that story-based, cinematic, flowing game, or otherwise you don't qualify. And that's bullshit. I mean, this is a game awards, so
Right.
give it to the best game, not the best storyteller.
Right.
Yeah. I think this
Don
whole
Blue,
game,
what do you think?
Yeah, I just think it's like really hurt the credibility of the Game Awards with this whole debacle. Just misinformation, confusing who's voting what the cutoff date was. Nobody really knows. Like, they're saying it was the 4th, but Forza Horizon Early Access dropped on the 5th. So, like, how are they going to vote for it if it's not even out yet? Like, it makes no sense. I don't know. It just kind of lost like steam, I think, for the credibility of the show. Yeah. Not to have something like, if you look at the nominees, they got like 2 PlayStation exclusives, 1 Nintendo exclusive, and the Xbox game that's rated higher somehow isn't nominated. And it's got like 10 million players, all these accolades, and it's just like, it's highly suspect as far as I'm concerned. Like,
it depends on how you look at it, really. I mean, because Deathloop is technically owned by Microsoft, and it will be there before the close of 2022.
Yeah.
But right now, yes, it is an exclusive along with Ratchet and Clank.
That's the way I'm looking at it. I'm looking at 2 PlayStation exclusives, 1 Nintendo. It's just like they're throwing these companies a bone, it seems like. They'll throw this guy a bone, throw that guy a bone. Like, it's just like, it's just, I don't know. I think what they should do is like change it for like at least 50-50, like 50 critic, 50 gamers, and like maybe change it, the dates. Like, no, this November is another debacle. Like, they got to switch this up to January, February, like the Oscars or the other award shows do it, because like they're only getting 10 months out of the year, right? It's not even getting a full year. It's like the game 10 months awards should be called.
Well, I know. If I
Yeah.
was wanting to get recognition for my game, I would definitely be trying to avoid the fall because let's face facts. Like by the time you get back over to it, you know what I mean. Like next November when we're talking about that, like gamers are fickle, man. Like they're going to be whatever's in their mind at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So people aren't going to be like reminiscing back to November of 2021 in November of 2022 and still having that same hype and feedback of a game that came out, within the last 2 or 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like not having these games that are releasing like Forza, right? Like Halo, the campaign in December 8th. Like now people have an entire year of new games to for them to lose their attention on. You know what I'm saying? So I think that if I had to guess, or in my opinion, that December 31st should be the end of the year. And you have until that time to put in ballots and you start voting. And then the game awards should be for like last year. You know what I'm saying? Like you shouldn't be doing the game award show like at 10 months into the year that you're discussing. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of games that come out between November, early November and late December that, in my opinion, are getting snuffed out. And now it just so happens that a big enough one came out that now it's become an issue. You know what I'm saying? Now a real game of the year contender came out at that weird cutoff time, and people are really starting to take notice of that.
I think like another thing too is like this event's like, let's not like mistaken for what it is. It's basically one big marketing event, right? Like they're selling these games before the holidays and digital packs and all this stuff during the show, and they're selling ads, and like I think that's one of the things why maybe they won't move it past that November date, right? Because they're probably maximizing the revenue and the reach of the show by having it out that time, right?
Because Christmas is 2 weeks away, right?
Yeah.
So you get all your games, you get people hyped up, they start buying stuff. I get why it's there, but it's obviously flawed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
John Blue brings up a really good point that I just want to touch on real fast. How many people watch the Super Bowl for football these days? Unless your team is in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's those commercials, it's those movie drops, those game drops, those releases. And to be honest with you, the Game Awards 2 years ago, that's why I watched them. I watched them for the Series X. Damn it. I knew Phil was getting ready to drop something. So he's got a point there.
That's the biggest reason why I watch it, for the game drops. You know what I mean? I know that's one thing Jeff is good about, and that's one thing he has done for the industry is like kind of legitimizing gaming as more of like a platform, and the Game Awards having something along the lines of, I mean, I can only compare it to the Grammys because that's the closest thing, right? So it has this little limelight and stage and all this kind of stuff, and you get to see new and upcoming games. You know what I mean? Like that, I get way more hype over that than I do over best esports coach. You know what I mean? Like I'm there to watch the latest and greatest of these videos, and but as far as like the actual voting and stuff, like that, obviously, like hopefully he's listening to this stuff and he pays attention. They can come together and try to figure something out.
Well, if Jeff Keighley's listening to this little show, I would take that as a feather in my cap. I would.
Well,
I really would.
Shout out to Jeff, man. If you're hearing this, like, appreciate it.
It goes both ways in both industries too, because I remember hearing a few years ago about things going on at the Grammys and stuff about directors that didn't work well with the Actors Guild. And which is, and for those of you that don't know, it's kind of like the Actors and Actresses Union per se that looks out for actors and actresses' rights and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Game Awards kind of work that way too. Like you grease my wheels, I'll grease yours. What do you think about it, Slayer?
Well, I have to be honest with you. The one thing that has been kind of sticking to me this whole time that you guys have been talking is the fact that Forza is considered a sports game. I think that's a little strange, and I think racing games honestly should not be considered sports games. I mean, I'm not sure if I'm the only one that thinks that, but they should be considered racing games. I mean, I guess
Now,
racing is a
Forza
sport, but
Motorsport, yes,
yeah, I guess that's true because it's more of a like a
it's
NASCAR
more of a
type like
simulation,
arena.
really.
Yeah, yeah. No, but yeah, I mean, I do think it's a little unfair that Forza did not get nominated for Game of the Year. I mean, just for sound and sports game, but I honestly I feel like just like you guys, like I don't really watch the Game Awards for the awards themselves really because for the past couple of years that I've watched it, it's usually been like a PlayStation game that's won, and that's not to say that those games are not good. It's just like I feel like there's a little bit of a like uneven ground there. So I just like I said, I just watch it for the announcements and the trailers that drop, and that's about it. Because every time I just see like one of the awards, I'm just like, oh well, another like oh, this isn't a surprise. Like out of you could pretty kind of tell like when you have the list of nominations in every award on that show, you could pretty much tell like what's going to win, like without even really thinking about it. Honestly, just by looking at what's nominated, you could already tell. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think that. Like I said, I don't think that it should be given too much weight because it's just a show. The awards in the end really, I mean, definitely shout out to like the developers and everything for winning those awards and everything. But like for me, like you guys said, I feel like it's more of a more for show than anything else. So you know, definitely they've made some good announcements and they do celebrate gaming. But I just feel like it's a little bit weighted towards one side. So
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more. But on to the next point of emphasis. If you're listening to us, why don't you give us a like? Why don't you share it out on social media and subscribe to our humble little channel. A lot of great reviews of indie games, a lot of great shows. You have this one that's just on its third episode, but the Mothership Show on Saturdays, which is UK based, they are rounding episode 70, I believe. Been there for a while, and bunch of good dudes. But on to my next topic. So they also it was probably the smallest little tidbit, but apparently xCloud is up and running. PCs, consoles, saving space. That hard drive is looking more attractive every day because I know I don't have to get another one if I don't want to. Yeah, it was about time. Now, while I'm downloading a game, I can go ahead and start playing a game with my friends and not have to sit and listen to how much fun they're having while I'm waiting on my download. I can go ahead and start playing through xCloud on my console, which is awesome. It should have been there at launch, but I understand. Infrastructure, server blades, all that hoopla. Go right back to you, Slayer. Do you think should have already been there, right, man? I mean, it's great that it's there now, but
yeah, I'm surprised it took this long, honestly. But I have to be honest with you, it's not something that I'm probably going to use too much. I think it's a cool feature, and for anyone who's going to use it, I mean, it's definitely awesome for those that don't have a Series X yet, but hopefully have a good enough internet connection to use it. But for me personally, since I am lucky enough to have a Series X and actually, a decent internet speed, where I think like Forza took me like maybe 30 to 40 minutes to install, even though it's like 100 and somewhat gigs. I don't necessarily mind waiting. Like I have a lot of things to do during my day usually. So like I usually just turn on and like update or install whatever game I need to play, and then I just sit down and play it. I don't necessarily want to deal with the lag that's most likely going to be there no matter what. Um, even if your internet connection is stable, like it's going to be affected by their servers and all that other stuff. So I think obviously nothing is ever going to beat like the true experience of you playing on your console. I think, like I said, it's a cool feature, and I'm definitely happy for those that are going to use it. I definitely will use the phone version, the mobile version, because that when I'm out and about, I definitely get more use out of that. But for this particular thing, for this instance, I don't think I'm necessarily going to use it that much. Just for the sake of for the fact that I have my Series X, so.
Yeah, if I use it on my console, it'll be far and few between. Like I said, those instances where, on the rare occasion, my friends are playing something that I don't have downloaded yet. Like I said, rare occasion, because I've got like 500 games on my console.
Yeah.
My hard drives are screaming. They're like, "Oh, I'm so fat. Put me on a diet."
Yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah, that rare occasion. Yeah, but I'm with you, Slayer. I think at the end of the day, nothing beats local. Nothing beats having it right here because zero lag.
Yeah,
And
exactly. Yeah. Like I obviously only have one Series X, and I do have like, my girlfriend's house, and like, I also have like, I have the Series X is like in our man cave in my house, and then my own room only has the One X right now. I'm hopefully gonna get a Series X in here too one day, but so maybe when I'm up here and playing, and I feel like playing something, I don't feel like going downstairs, I'll do that. But yeah, like I said, it's most likely I'm just gonna be on my Series X and playing locally. So
come on, Slayer. True gamers don't have girlfriends, and if they did, they wouldn't let them have man caves.
well, we don't live together, so
Oh, wow, yeah.
not yet. That's why we're
Lucky you.
not married yet, but hopefully soon. Who knows?
Hey,
All right, Power Man, knock it out of the park.
what you got?
What I got? What do you think about XCloud on your console?
Oh, I think that it feels to me like this is probably directed more at if I had to guess, probably like Xbox One, right? You know what I mean? Like in my opinion, I think it'd be awesome if you're a Series X owner and let's say a game comes on Game Pass and you don't want to sit around for 15 minutes or 20 minutes or however long it takes to download something and say, I want to check this out, but I don't want to invest in like sitting here waiting on it to download or what have you. So you hop right into it and you say, okay, cool. Gameplay's awesome. It's fire. I'm going to go ahead and download it and play it locally. But I also have to wonder, like, so say you have an Xbox One VCR and you're like, man, I want to play Forza Horizon 5, or I want to play Halo, or I want to play Gears of War 5 or something like that with a higher fidelity, and you have a really good internet connection, but you still haven't found a next generation console, and that's for you, right? Or if you have, if you have a really bad laptop, and you're on a vacation and you want to just hop in there and knock out a couple games in your hotel room or something, so I think that more options is never bad, right? Like everybody, a lot of people are very critical of these little things that Microsoft does, but I don't see a negative in another way to access the Xbox network. You know what I mean? So, and at the end of the day, that's the stuff that they're looking for, And
we did get the word over the summer that the Azure servers, they're all running games on Series X blades now.
Exactly. So that makes it, that's one of those, like, if you have an old school Xbox and you want to get just a little taste, a little tippy taste of next generation, then you can use xCloud and say, wow, oh my God, these Series X. I mean, if it's playing this good on a cloud network, could you imagine what it would be like locally? And then boom, at that point, now you're shopping for a Series X,
Yeah. What do you think, John? You like the idea?
Yeah, I think it's actually pretty cool. Like, they always seem to be ahead on this type of stuff compared to like the competition with the xCloud. And I'm kind of with Power Man. I think it's more geared towards like the older consoles, like Xbox One. Like it is cool to like jump on. Like if you're, I don't know if you guys do those Microsoft Reward challenges, or like or on Game Pass, you can get all those points with playing like certain amount and kill 10 enemies, whatever. Certain games, you get like 50, 100 points. Then like to do stuff like that, it'd be pretty cool to jump on XCloud and like download the games, right?
Yeah, that's a really good point, John. I never thought about that because I'll be going through my Game Pass um challenges and I'll be looking at it, I'll be like, I don't have that game
Yeah,
downloaded.
it's
And
not like something, yeah, that you
man, I
want to
don't really
download
want to
either.
use hard drive space to get 50 points. Oh, hold on. I could just stream it.
Yeah, it's perfect for that.
Oh yeah. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that's something I sometimes I'll play, like I'll go on my phone, like if I'm at work, and I'll just play a game real quick on like the touch controls. So if it has like touch controls, then that's something I might use through like xCloud. But like on the console, I probably won't use it very much because I'm more of a native. Like I just want that native experience. Like I just download it and just play it instead of worrying. Like my internet's really not all that great to begin with, so I usually like preload the games and then let's just play it from there.
Yeah. All right, everybody. I saved the latest and greatest for last. All right. Up until Monday, okay, up until the celebration and the drop of Halo Infinite multiplayer, my friends list was dotted with players playing Battlefield 2042, people playing Call of Duty Vanguard, and all of a sudden, with one announcement, nobody's playing those games, and I've got 35 people on my friends list, and they're all playing Halo Infinite. Halo is back. It is dominating. It is smooth. It is clean. It is so much fun, and man, we missed it. 5 wasn't the same. This has got the nostalgia. It's got the feel. It's got the flow, and the year has been so good to it. Man, I just can't. Man, it's awesome. I can't believe it. I mean, it's Halo started that multiplayer online craze on consoles, and it is still alive and well with this release. Slayer, man, what do you think?
I'm enjoying it. You know, as you can see from the gameplay, like I really love ranked because I prefer to use the battle rifle versus the assault rifle, just because I feel like it's more precise. And I love getting those headshots. But yeah, no, I mean it's fun. I think I know that this is technically supposed to be a beta, and I'm hoping that's actually the case because like there are certain things that I feel like need reworking. Like for instance, there's definitely not enough maps in my opinion. Like when you play the arena matches and even like big team battles, which I've played a little bit of as well. There's only like a few, which I feel like that's a little bit lackluster in my opinion. And I really hope that expands. But the gameplay is pretty solid. I don't like the randomness of Big Team Battle. I don't know if you guys have tried out Big Team Battle yet, but I feel like Big Team Battle is very random with the vehicle spawns and stuff like that. Like I've had games where we've been behind by a lot, like in like let's say a capture the flag game or even Total Control or whatever, and we're behind, and all of a sudden the other team gets a tank like on their side. Like, okay, cool. So we're gonna be behind even more, So it's kind of a shame.
Like, hey,
So
where's our tank?
yeah, exactly. Like we're behind, So like if you are gonna do this whole like spawn drop thing for vehicles, like give it to the team that's actually behind. Like I don't understand. Hang on, let me see. I could put up the big team battle gameplay right here. There you go. But yeah, like it's really good. I think one of the things that I has been happening to me that's kind of been aggravating me is there's been a lot of times where like I'm running around a corner and as I'm getting shot and I'm past the corner and I still die, even though like I'm already past the corner, but the bullet just I guess lands or like landed as I was running past the corner, which kind of frustrates me because I feel like I was at a point where I could have survived it. But just a little bit frustrating things that I think could be ironed out, or I'm not sure. And then also, my biggest gripe with it so far has been the battle pass, and I think they reworked that today. I think they announced where they're making some changes to the how you're going to be progressing in it, because I feel like the challenges, first of all, they're bugged. I've had this weapon challenge where I have to get a kill with a certain weapon, and I swear I've gotten it like 5 times, and the challenge is still just sitting there, and that was kind of annoying. So I haven't been getting the experience for that, and I can't even like swap out the challenge because I don't have enough of the swap cards. So I'm glad to hear that they're like putting it so like I think you're getting points after every match, just at least like some XP every match. So definitely some work that they have to do, but very very solid, very smooth. I love it. It's definitely feels like some of the older Halo games. Like I actually for me personally, I didn't mind the Halo 5 multiplayer too much. Like I actually enjoyed it. Um, but yeah, this one's pretty solid too. So definitely
Oh,
definitely enjoying it.
I just got a message from 343 Slayer.
Oh
They
yeah.
want to remind you that this game does happen in the future and that they are sure that by this time the UNSC has they've developed bullets that can round corners now.
Oh yeah, is that so?
Yep. That's their excuse and they're sticking to it.
Gotcha. All right.
Oh, so we got Ultimus Gaming, brother, having internet problems tonight, huh? So what do you think? What do you think? I know you're a huge Halo fan, man. Let us know how you feel.
Yeah, sorry about the internet problems. My modems have given me lots of issues. I've already called them about it. Should be fixing it here soon. But I love it, really. The multiplayer is so fun. I haven't noticed any big glitches. However, I did have it crash randomly in the middle of a game. It was actually with John Blue. We were doing some BTB together, and in the middle of the match, it just hard crashed. And so I did evasive action. I immediately unplugged my Xbox Series X to prevent any issues. And but that was the first time it happened, or else I haven't had much of any issues. It is so fun, so enjoyable. I have had that around the corner bullet issue though. That's happened to me quite often. But other than that, addictive, fun, and when my internet works, a great experience.
Now you all know the Germans did invent a gun that can shoot around corners, so it's possible. Just throwing it out there.
That's from Wolfenstein, right? Was that from Wolfenstein? Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, but I do have to say, it's like for me, it's like one of these games, and I think Ultimus just literally said it. Like, it is addicting. Like, it's one of those games where, like, even if I'm losing, I just get frustrated. I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna play. Just gonna keep playing until I get a win, and then maybe I'll get off. But then like just from that win, the adrenaline rush is like, okay, nope, I'm just gonna keep playing. It's like one of those one more games.
I noticed that a lot. This is one of those games like even when you lose, it's kind of like one of those losses where you're like, let's just bounce back. And once you do, then you get that adrenaline rush, and then you just keep going, and you torture yourself. But
Yeah,
then you get another
exactly.
win, and the cycle continues, and that is the biggest thing. It is just so addictive. I mean, I love Call of Duty. Call of Duty was literally the first FPS I ever played. But Halo just goes so much farther with it, with all the weapons and abilities and everything else that you can do. It is just such a great experience. That's why I focus Halo. I play Halo mainly now than I used to back then, because it's just so fun that I can grapple up here, then and I get my sniper and shoot someone, then jump down with my assault rifle and get at it. I mean, it's just that great experience that is. It's just made the multiplayer so fun, and then I can't wait to see what I can do with this in the campaign. I really can't wait.
So, John Blue, you were brought up there, sir. What did you think?
I think it's like I like it better than Halo 5. It's really fun, like really polished too. For like it launched and it had like no issues like with the servers or anything that I seen. Like I was surprised by that because they said if this drops and maybe they might crash or something, right? But I was really impressed by that and just like the gameplay, the guns, the weapons, the abilities. More of a big team battle person. I just like playing with like a lot of people on the same map. I think that's really cool. and with all the vehicles, and like the vehicles are so fun. Like when you get in like the Ghost and you're just like running people down, or you get in like back of a Warthog and he's like jumping over cliffs or trying to like make the thing land on the ground.
When I start playing with people I haven't played with before, my first question is, all right, who can drive? Because you don't want to be in the back of a Warthog with somebody who bumps into everything because it's a death trap.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I played a few matches earlier and I was bumping into everything. It felt like.
Oh, John, you saw me driving. Trust me.
Yeah, no. But yeah, and then you got the abilities with the grapple hook, and it's like if you get somebody running and you like throw the grapple hook on them, it's like so like satisfying to just wipe the guy clean with that. And then my favorite one is actually the repulsor. That's like a beast. Like if somebody throws a grenade or a rocket or anything at you, you just repulse it back. That's just like it's just so cool. But yeah, I love the game, and obviously they think they, like Slayer was saying something about the progression. They put an update out there today about that, and I think it's like a quick fix type thing, but they're gonna kind of revamp that probably in their next big update. So I don't know when that'll be, but I think they made it more like so you can like before it was like if you only played like your dailies, I guess you only get like a certain amount of XP and people weren't leveling up. So now it's like if you play, I think you get 50, but if you stack up the matches, it adds up to more over time, which is nice. But people are still kind of irked about that. So hopefully they can kind of get that figured out. And and then some of the playlists I've seen too, a lot of people are complaining like there's not like some of like Fiesta modes and all the other ones they used to have. So they kind of want that as well. So hopefully, they are saying it's a beta. So like maybe by launch, they'll have some of that figured out by then, hopefully.
Yeah. I haven't had the chance to do anything exciting with the grapple hook yet, but I know what it's capable of because I've had it used on myself quite a few times. And that's usually from the hand of an opponent that has an energy sword in the other hand, and he gets pulled right to me and he slices me and dices me. So yeah, I can't wait to. I did see somebody. What's that one mode where you've got to play you got the power nodes and you all have to go get the power nodes and bring them back to your base and insert them?
Yeah, it's literally what we're watching right now.
Yeah, I saw people were picking those up from a distance with their grapple hook, which that's pretty cool, man. Considering when you're carrying those things, you can't do anything. You can't even hit somebody with it. You're literally a sitting duck.
Yeah, you could actually apparently you could do that for the flag too. I haven't tried it out myself, but you could actually grab the flag with the grapple hook as well, apparently.
Oh wow.
I actually seen somebody do that. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So, Power Man, Halo thoughts? Are you in love? Has it been able to pull you away from your from Warcraft?
Yes, it absolutely has.
Yes, we did it.
Well, I'll tell you, with all the stuff going around with that company, I've been kind of taking a break on that game. I think that I'm not going to get too hard into it, but they definitely need to get their shit together. But that being said, Halo is an absolute return to form in every shape and form. Matter of fact, I don't know if you guys know this, but I just happened to notice that IGN dropped 5 minutes of campaign gameplay on what's called the Conservatory, and it appears to be new gameplay. So if you guys get a chance, check that out. So what I really like is the crazy, 343 has gotten a lot of unnecessary shit in the past for the for having to be the predecessor to Bungie. You know what I mean? Like, those 3 games are like the holy trinity for Halo players, and 343 came in and took over on the franchise. And in my opinion, I think they did solid work. I think that they missed the mark on a couple of areas, but never really came together. But this Halo Infinite is a great molding of old Halo with newer mechanics and a little bit better gunplay mechanics, I would say. and being able to find the fine balance between, finding a sprint that makes sense and isn't broken, and weapon balance, and it's everything's just hitting and coming together. And the greatest thing about it is it's free to play and it's fun. You know what I mean? And to me, there can't be anything better than that, especially coming from the OG Xbox when I played the original Halo Combat Evolved. Before there was such a thing as online. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's great, man. I can't say enough about it. I've been playing it almost nonstop. So,
Yeah, 343 did have huge shoes to fill, but 343 did fix the Master Chief Collection, which was a utter mess. And now I can't remember the last time I had an issue with the Master Chief Collection. It's flawless now. I mean, it's just
it's probably best as far as bang for buck. Master Chief Collection, as far as content, I mean, there's 7,000 gamer score in there that's there to be had if you want it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a crazy amount of content. You know what I mean? And the future is bright for Halo. I don't even think about COD or Battlefield right now. It's not even on my radar. I have Halo. I don't really need, in my opinion, another shooter right now. I'm having way too much fun with it, and I know in less than a month I'm getting the full blown experience with more maps, more modes, and a lot of things to come. So,
exactly.
What a year. I mean, and really it was just like set up for success. Vanguard has gotten very like lukewarm reception, and it's very unfortunate because I thought Battlefield was really going to set it off, but it appears that they're suffering from a lot of bugs and a lot of glitches and a lot of problems on their front as well. So, man, Halo just came in and it was so smart to drop it in the time that it did, because obviously the gaming world was in desperate need of like a solid shooter to come out in the year and really set the standard. And we hadn't seen one for so long, which is why I think it's just been so successful. People have really been just dying to play a real good Halo multiplayer, and this is what they're getting with this, with this game.
Yeah, and you mentioned Battlefield, and I do remember somebody in the development team coming out weeks ago saying this game needs to be delayed, and it didn't get delayed, and obviously it could have benefited from more testing and a more polished release. And I mean, oh well.
It's just something special about Halo. Like I'm not really a multiplayer guy, but every time Halo comes, I'm on that, man. Like there's so much interest in just the brand of Halo, I feel.
Have you ever went on Halo Wiki and just start scrolling through the different tabs? They've got they've got every ship that's ever been in the fleet of the UNSC, and its origins and where it wound up and what it's doing now. And I mean, it just goes on forever. It's crazy, the lore behind Halo.
Yeah, I've read actually quite a few books from the Halo lore, and it's really amazing actually what they've done with that. And then obviously they got that teaser too for the show. I think you guys might already talk about that, maybe.
No, we haven't talked about the teaser for the show. We discussed the documentary series coming out about the Xbox in December.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, that teaser looked pretty sick. So I guess not much there, but it looked like they got the at least the his suit down.
It looked like he had were those scars
yeah,
where implants had been put, or what was that?
Yeah, implants from like when he was abducted as a child.
Oh wow!
Like when he was I think he was 10 or 11.
We're gonna see a side of man.
They might go maybe have some flashbacks maybe or something with Halsey on that one, where it kind of shows before like Reach and all that. But I just hope the show's like a big budget show. I think that's what Halo kind of deserves. So
this show has been in the making. We've been hearing about this show for the last 3-4 years, and every time we get something solid about it as far as news or coverage, it goes away. And I'm really hoping that they've actually put a label on it now. They said it's going to be on Paramount Plus, right?
Yeah, Paramount Plus.
Okay, so we've got a label on it. And I've already got Paramount Plus. I've had it for a while, and I'm ready.
Hasn't it been longer than that though? I think more than 4 years even, because like I think since that one first commercial dropped, that trailer where they were supposed to have that movie,
It's been
they've been
like,
trying to.
yeah, like
I think it's been like more than like
man. Like
yeah,
they
more than,
advertised
10
with
years at least.
OG Xbox One,
Oh,
like when they first like announced the console.
Yeah,
Then
They were
like
like
no,
trying to do a
that's-
movie at one
that's
point, and then
yeah,
seriously
Steven
possible.
Spielberg was behind it at one point,
yeah,
and like it's shifted projects and directors, and it's been like pretty much in hell like to get this thing.
yeah.
So like, I think the show's been in development since like at least 2015.
Oh, I know what it is. It's because I don't remember anything before 2017 when the 1X came out, because I totally blocked 2013 to
Yeah.
2016 out of my mind. That's what it is. Yeah, I blocked that disaster.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh man.
That's back. I don't know if you remember back when Xbox had its own like movie studios, and they were trying to do all this crazy stuff back in those days with Xbox One, like when it first came out.
Yeah. Not all about the TV, about the games.
They were at TV at that point.
TV.
Yeah.
Jeez. Never gonna live that one down.
No. You're reminded at least once a month about that.
Well, which was crazy because the Xbox One launch lineup was solid, man. Like they had a solid launch.
Yeah,
Like,
good launch.
way better than the PlayStation, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
For
Like,
sure. PlayStation didn't have much. Like
yeah, Knack and
Knack and Killzone, pretty much.
Killzone. You know, I mean, you had Forza Horizon 2, Dead Rising 3.
Titanfall was in there, like
Titanfall.
within that window. Yeah.
Oh man, I put
Rise.
hundreds of hours into
Like
Titanfall.
Rise was freaking amazing. Like,
yeah.
I love that game.
Oh, well. If nobody else has anything to add, I believe we're coming to the end of this episode.
Yeah, I would just say that if anybody's listening, man, and you're on the fence about Halo or about Forza, man, just I don't know if you don't have access to Game Pass, you know, find a deal and dive in and download these games and give them a shot for yourself. You know what I mean? Do yourself a favor and try out these. You know, they're super polished and they're totally worth, you know, giving. You know, bust out $1, get a code, whatever you got to do. Check these games out. It'll be worth your while.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I'm one of the biggest Xbox fans that I know, and I still own a PlayStation sitting right over here next to me because I didn't want to be that guy speaking from ignorance because I didn't know what I was talking about and just going with the crowd of haters. And Sony exclusives are great, but my multi-plat games and my Xbox exclusives are on my Xbox because they play best there. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, Sony makes some damn good games. Like,
oh yeah, Days Gone.
They got that movie games or whatever. Whoever they market those games, they just that's the style of game they make, and they're kind of really the only ones kind of making those style of games. Seems like.
And you don't have to buy a console anymore either. I mean, just get Game Pass, try it for a month. And then, get a used controller or borrow somebody's controller and hook it up to your phone or your tablet and give it a shot. You never know. I mean, it may not be the greatest thing in the world to you, but you may find out that we're all not haters on this side of the fence.
Hell no.
No. I'll be honest, and I'm just speaking from a matter of perspective and kind of, I talk to other people in other communities. And I pay attention to a lot of the other gaming communities, and there's always a stipulation that quote unquote Xbox don't hold Microsoft accountable. I could find that further from the truth. Obviously, you guys remember when they tried to do the double Xbox Live for $120 a year. We stood up and we said, no, we're not doing that. Like, this isn't happening. And the entire community, was on Xbox's ass about that, and look what happened. Not only did they not do that, but they unlocked free-to-play games to not be held behind Xbox Live Gold. The Xbox community, we love our platform, but I feel like we're very critical when we need to be, and we say what needs to be said, which is why we're so passionate. You know what I mean? And we always give credit to Sony. Hey, Sony makes good games. That they're a cut of their own cloth, and I feel like Nintendo is doing what they're doing well. Right, they fit in their own market and they do what they want to do, and they're successful with it. You know what I mean? I don't feel that any of these companies need to go away. There's always a stipulation that one needs to die and the other one needs to be the sole survivor. Listen, that's going to kill creativity, competition. If we get just one company that's out there that's making everything, your gaming is going to suffer. You know what I mean? So we all need to be here and all need to be a part of the gaming community on all platforms.
Yeah, I mean, if Xbox hadn't come along in 2001 and been the stiff competition that it's been over the years, everybody could still be playing on a PS3 because they didn't see no need to upgrade.
Well, I'd argue like the 360 really pushed them, because like when they launched the PS3, that was like a debacle. Like the $600, whatever much it cost to get a second job, all that kind of stuff. I don't know if you remember that back in those days, man. But
I remember that.
And the cell processor was so hard to develop for.
Mm-hmm. Which is why they struggle with backwards compat so bad. That's the one thing that Microsoft was able once again to see into the future. They saw into the future in 2013 when they were talking about DRM and always online and stuff like that, and everybody was like, bah humbug, I don't want to hear it, and here we are in 2021 and what's going to end up being, by the end of this generation, in my opinion, an almost fully digital future. You know what I mean? Physical, whether we like it or not, man, physical media is slowly dying. I mean, PCs, not even the forethought. Microsoft's kind of been ahead of the curve on a lot of these things, man. So it's interesting to see how they push each other.
And they're also like really for game preservation as well. Like they're already talking about like, if you can own a game, or you should be able to play it whenever, like, whatever time period, right?
Exactly.
In the future.
There's no coincidence that you can sideload on RetroArch. Like if they didn't want you to go into dev mode and use your Xbox to emulate other games, they would have blocked it, right? So at the end of the day, I think that they know that there's licensing problems and there's going to be issues with going full back compat on everything, and that's understandable. But just the fact that they're saying something positively about emulation says a lot.
Yep, that's the truth. Slayer exclusive, brother. Tell the community where they can find you.
You could check me out on Slayer Exclusive Gaming on YouTube, and same thing on Twitter, and right here with you guys every Thursday at 9 p.m. and on the Saturday show at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yep. I make that Saturday show every other week because of work, but it's always a blast.
Yeah, we have a lot of laughs there. It's awesome.
Powerman 4K. Where can people find you at?
You can find me on Twitter at Powerman4K, on YouTube at Powerman4K, and of course on this podcast every Thursday with these lovely gentlemen. Other than that, man, keep it gaming.
John Blue, where can you be found?
You can find me on Twitter at JBoss293 and on Xbox at JohnBlue117. Playing some Halo.
That's what I'm talking about. This is your host, K.Y.Bob. You can find me Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, all K.Y.Bob. My YouTube channel right now is it's stuck in I guess the gamers would call it development hell because I haven't done anything on it, but I am a big part of this channel, and I host the show here every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, and I make the 3 p.m. Eastern show every other Saturday with the Mothership show based in the UK. And if you liked what you heard, liked what you seen, give us a like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like still give us a like, share, and subscribe. No, for real. Check the channel out. There is a plethora of content on the Xbox Live Party podcast channel. And we thank you all for sitting with us and talking games. Y'all have a good night.
Have a good night, everybody. Catch
Later.
you guys on Saturday.